time, man. I was, going down the steps with some chicken wings in my hand, and in the darkness, my leg went straight forward, and then the other one stayed back, and it like split. That's what opened me up real good. Sorry about that. Just moving slow a little bit.
We may have to switch places.
Yeah, I know, right? Oh, man. Chicken wings gonna be the death of me. It ain't gonna be Corona. Ooh. Alright, so anyways, and I like how you just prepped them and you warmed them up and everything.
Yeah, I always like to, engage.
So when we're looking at the body and we're doing like a whole lymphatic drainage, the first couple strokes are always just gonna be light strokes, almost like a cat, a little kitty cat, all the good stuff, just gliding over the body. You don't have to do to me. I don't know why I did all that. But when we're gliding, all we're doing is moving lymphatic drainage. Remember, to the left. Well, this is his right side, but everything drains on the left side technically. But for the whole body, it knows how to drain regardless. But they do say thoracic outlet syndrome and all that stuff is
just having
drained on the left side. Right, because our hearts are the ventricles and everything. It drains on the left side, takes in blood and deoxygenated oxygen, and recycles through the body.
It's better to sleep on your left too. With acid reflux, but also for the heart.
Right, because the heart on this side, or when you're laying on your left side and the pressure, so when you're pushing everything out, it's almost like you're squeezing everything out. But when you sleep on the right side, because you're trying to breathe in, the oxygen capacity over here is like lesser.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But on this side, it's like, it's more, that's why like one lung is a little bit big, just tiny bit.
I always remember
too
that
much.
from school. I like the one, but then the right one I think has 3 lobes, right? And the left has only 2 lobes. There's one that has 3 and one that has 2. Either way,
they both have 4 or 2 each. It's the top atrium or ventricle,
no, I mean
or atrium and
lungs.
ventricle. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yes, you're correct. Sorry. And so on the back side of the back, you have a bigger expansion because of the lung capacity is bigger on the back side. On the front side, if you're sleeping on your stomach, that's why I say don't sleep on your stomach if you're overweight or obese. You can have sleep apnea and stuff like that. Because your capacity, you're basically doing a push-up, lifting your own body up like with your lungs, which is crazy. For him, it's perfect. It's like no problem. You will be no problem, but for obese, that's crazy. So when you sleep on your back, it's better because the back has back muscles to protect it. Front side is just visceral organs and stuff like that. Unless you got abs ripped up like hip or you, then you're fine. But that means you'll be in shape, so you be great. You be great. Oh man, so remember the kitty cat motion is just nice and slow. Nothing is fast, like with lymphatic drainage. I've seen people do it fast for no reason, but I'm like, no, it's just slow. And so the superficial part of the body, or the epidermis, right underneath there, you have your dermis. The dermis is where most of your sweat glands, endocrine glands, all that good stuff, apocrine glands on the armpit and all that good stuff. So that fluid and liquid, that's getting pushed out. Underneath that, you have your subcutaneous. The subcutaneous is pretty much like your fat layers, your fatty tissue to lymphatic drainage system, and that's the layer that we want to get to. And so the light strokes is basically just to open up veins, venules, capillaries to move blood. So all we're doing is just stroke. And even you can do the arms and all this other good stuff. And it's almost like when you're at home and you got your man or your woman or whoever you like, I don't, these days. And it's just somebody rubbing on the back of my neck. You know how men are. You put a split like that, you're like, that's how crazy just small loving strokes can be. It's like, shit, this really does work on my my lymphatic drainage system plus my nervous system plus everything else. It calms me down. And so that's the same thing we're trying to do with our muscles. We're trying to calm them down. Every day, they're always at war. They're always fighting. It's a tug of war. And so when we just want to tell the people or our skin, calm down. And so the lighter version of this, or I'm sorry, just a little bit heavier than our hands, we would do a brush. So the brush is right behind you. The little
blue one.
So
did you feel the same pressure on both sides? Kind of with just, does it matter?
I can't. My brother, what's your name? I'm so sorry.
Oh, Benjamin or Ben.
Ben. Ben's stroke was a lot more harder, but it actually felt better.
Okay. I just wanted to see how my if I was doing the
Yeah, I
same.
thought I was doing pretty gentle.
No, you was harder than mine.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
okay,
exactly.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure my pressure was the same.
Laurel's pressure wasn't.
It's like little like
It's too light. Exactly.
Oh, okay,
Gotcha.
okay.
Ben's pressure is like the perfect, exactly what I would prefer on myself.
Okay.
Okay.
I will
Right, and
I'll
I'm
match
using
the
like the
pressure,
whole
so.
hand, like the
There you go.
almost like I'm
exactly.
dragging. You see how like the
Exactly.
skin is moving a little bit, right? So because we gotta, if you just did this all day or just light, it's probably not gonna do anything.
it's more.
Right, it's like that
Mhm.
palm, and there we go. So after we did that, the
Mhm.
brush, this is pretty much working on our nervous system to like our little tactile receptors
Mhm.
or actinian receptors, all that good stuff. So one is hot and cold, and one is pressure. So this one's going to work on your pressure sensitivity for your body. And when you're brushing, you don't have to use this brush. This bristles are super light or
Yeah.
soft. Sometimes when you get the brush out of the hair store or like, you know, when you're getting some waves or whatever, I can never get waved anyway. When you're using those type of brushes, those brushes are hard. You know what I mean? I've seen people use those brushes. People, please don't. You will scar their
Especially
back.
with the body brushing, I heard some people
It
use
hurts.
that.
You know, like, come on. Just get a nice soft bristle brush, and all you're doing is doing strokes. The same way with just, instead of the hand, you're just doing it with the brush.
Mhm.
And so you can do gliding 1, gliding 2, gliding 3, and just brushing the body. And the brush doesn't have to be this long. This long is just for you scrubbing your back in the shower. I brought it anyway, but I just know this is the softest one I had in my arsenal.
For brushing, yeah.
Mhm. And then the arms, you can go this way if you want to. I normally just go towards the direction of the hands.
Mhm. Oh, it is. So it is towards the direction of the fingers then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Or you can go back up towards the body as well, you know, because remember the heart drains out.
Mhm.
As long as
Okay.
you in towards the heart, then you're good to go. And I'm not saying that's a myth, but blood's going to circulate regardless. Now, if you have a poor circulatory system, then yeah, you probably will have to flush things back up to the heart. If somebody has deep vein thrombosis or
Mhm.
any type of spider vein, like something that you could tell swelling, pitting, edema in their feet, then yes,
Yeah.
flush that stuff back because it's having a problem flushing towards it anyway. That's why it's swollen. And it's just easy, one by one.
It's weird
Nothing's
to me
difficult.
to. Yeah, I'm always learning new things. But it feels like to have to like practice something again. It's like.
Well, see, and that's why we practice. Some people watch a video all day. I'm like, well, who did you practice on? Like, if you what, like, come on, I know somebody wasn't at home unless you got your boo or your babe or your husband. And even if you're married, some of the husbands don't want to help. I'm like, dang, that sucks. So the brush, like I said, it's just waking up your nervous system, saying, hey, let's
So
wake
allowing
up.
the nerves to come up through. It's kind of just like. I know there's another technique. I'm gonna let you explain that.
No, it's okay. You ever see like your erector pili muscles? Erector pili muscles are throughout the whole body, not always just in our head or on our neck. Anything with hair anywhere or a pore is erector pili muscle. So erector, meaning coming up or getting erect, like a penis, you know, it erects. And then the pili is your actual, the pore it comes out of. So that hair, when it gets erect, so when you get scared and you can see the hairs on somebody's back of the neck stand up, you ever seen like a scientific video where it actually shows the hair? Because you get so scared, it's like, wait, that's all nothing but nerves. And so those erector pili muscles, those little small tiny pores actually have a muscle. They're so super, super, super tiny, but they still pull the hair up because it's like, oh, there's danger. So like a dog, when they get scared, you see their back hind leg or tail stop wagging, or a cat's hair just staying up on the back. Those are erector pili muscles. So those muscles, we want to just wake them up and say, hey, we're here, wake up, because we're about to do some lymphatic drainage so you can drain out. So when those erector pili muscles are standing up, that means the channels underneath that pore is now open. Because remember, if it goes back down, they're closed, like a bridge. So when that bridge is open, boats can pass through. When the bridge is closed, or the drawbridge, the taller boats can't go through. They'll hit the bridge and the bridge collapse, and we got tragedy. So after that, oh, thank you so much.
Anything else over here?
No. So like, say he comes in for an actual injury, because you can do this to the whole body just to actually warm the person's body up for lymphatic drainage. And if they had a common cold, if he comes in and says, hey, I got this crazy cough, I don't know what's going on, it's not corona, it's nothing crazy. But it could be corona. It could just be some sort of just regular common cold. On the back, so the lungs are on both sides, so normally I would just do the same movements right over the back. I don't want to do the arms, I don't do the neck, anything else, because this is the affected area. So in medical massage, yes, you're gonna have to work with certain body parts, like if he has swelling, swelling and pitting edema like in the feet, same thing. All I'm gonna do is go nice and slow, and you can use your thumbs. Let's say this was his ankle, and you can just push that lymphatic drainage either towards the affected area or away.
Okay.
It's better to be away, but sometimes that inflammation is actually a good thing, because it's those healers that's trying to protect it and fight whatever that injury really is.
And in that case, we work on inflammation, because I know that usually it's always a contraindication of us in general, but I know with lymphatic drainage it's different. You are working.
Right, it's contraindicated. Like, say the athlete, he's playing football, yesterday's game, and he comes in today. I'm like, damn, dude, you just got this injury yesterday. Then it's kind of like, I wouldn't do any work. I'm like, no, you may have to ice it down first, heal, then maybe in 2 to 3 days after even today, then come back and see us. So we can still do lymphatic drainage. Make sure that inflammation can actually stay in the leg for days, if not weeks. Some people's body system doesn't drain out like it's supposed to. So yes, it's always contraindicated when, yes, it's an acute injury. So those acute injuries, yeah, I'm not touching you. I'm like, you need to go ice that thing. You need to actually go to the doctor. It could be broken. It could be
acute.
Jesus. So right, so if they come in like after 2 or 3 days, like, hey, this happened on 2 weeks ago, then and it's still swollen, then I will work on it. Because I know the healing process of his bones. I'm like, okay, that's not a broken bone, because you said 2 weeks ago and you still walking on it. That's not broken. It's not nothing serious. Then I will work on it. I'm like, okay, you just need some lymphatic drainage. So when somebody gets plastic surgery on any body part, let's just say they have a butt lift. The butt lift, they cut the whole butt off and fill it in with side fat or wherever the fat you have on your body, and that's the natural way. Or they'll put it in with a silicone base that they don't have any fat to make them look good. So that butt area, you have to send them home for at least a couple weeks, like a week or 2, possibly 3 weeks, just to heal. So there's no way that person would come in and I do a butt lymphatic drainage, because they just had surgery. But after their surgery and their wounds have healed, the sutures or the laser or whatever has brought everything back in, and they come to the office, then yes, I would then start doing lymphatic drainage and pushing the lymphatic system, or any type of pooling or dead blood. Because remember, once a surgeon surgically lasers or sutures a wound back together, he's in shape, you're in shape. You guys would probably be great. You guys like Wolverine, you would heal very quickly. But average people who want these butt lifts or rhinoplasty nose job or anything, they're out of shape. They're getting liposuction for the first time, and then they go eat crazy again. I'm like, your body isn't just gonna flush shit out just because you got lipo. You actually got to still work out, do extra stuff. So that's why lymphatic drainage is important. So when they come in, we got to drain it for them. Basically, you're doing the work that their body can't do. Because people are crazy. They will come in right after their surgery and say, "Oh, I'm like, are you what? No, you're in the healing phase." And it's not like the doctors actually will tell them step by step what they need to do at home. They just say, "Hey, the surgery's done. You're good. Goodbye," because they did their job. So then now the nurse has to do their job. Then it's us. So on and so forth. But no, you are right. Yes, if it is acute, yeah, we don't even. If it's acute,
relaxed.
Oh, if it's acute, yeah, we don't touch nothing.
Yeah.
And that's when you see those doctors on NFL, and when somebody hurts their ankle or kneecap gets messed up, you don't see them doctors problem and trying. They already know it's jacked up. They're like, nope, get an X-ray. They'll put them on the wagon, take them to the thing, get an X-ray first, see how dangerous it is. Then they might have to do surgery or touch it. But they might look at it like, oh, yep, it's broken. But they ain't out there massaging, lymphatic's gonna put your ankle again. They ain't doing shit. Oh, sorry, let me stop.